welcome to this month's J&J Photo Art Marketing Cafe, presented by Photo Art Pavilion. Thank you for joining us live today. The benefit of being here live is that you get to join in at the questions at the end and the conversation. So with that said, please keep your mic muted and let's jump into everything. So welcome again. I'm your host, Jessica Lempin. I'm co-founder and COO of Photo Art Pavilion. And my business partner, Joanne Henig, will be joining us in just a little bit. She'll come in at the end to recap today's presentation. Joanne is the CEO of Photo Art Pavilion, and together we are a women-owned and operated business with Photo Art Pavilion. So what is Photo Art Pavilion? Well, we're a national curated marketplace devoted to art photographers. We help art photographers, whether emerging or established, to create professional online gallery, to provide business guidance, and so much more. So let's dig into it. First up, we have our live virtual receptions and exhibits. So right now we have our open call for Macro World. And our deadline is June 12th, which is just in a couple of days. This is a really great and interesting exhibit to be able to get into. The top 50 images are selected for the virtual exhibit. And then from there, we'll be able to host a live virtual reception. It's a great time by all. We get to dig in on the art and then have a nice little chat at the end. So with that said, there is cash prizes for first, second, third place winners and honorable mentions. So if you have anything that fits within the Macro World theme, definitely enter it. You never know. Next, it's all about Photo Art Pavilion and our marketplace. So we are here to help all art photographers, again, all different levels, to be able to have a beautiful professional storefront, to be able to build their gallery, their portfolio, and to be able to drive their 3Fs, family, friends, and fans too. We do all of this for you with no stress, no expensive website fees, and just your art beautifully displayed. So some of the benefits is 100% commission goes to the artist. We, Photo Art Pavilion, critique your work. We want to review all of the art that is entered into your storefront to ensure that your 3Fs, family, friends, and fans, will have top-notch art going out to them. With that, we also know that setup is about 5 minutes or less. It's a very intuitive system, easy to navigate and use. So we don't want to hold you up because we know your time is limited. With that, there's no restrictions on the amount of art. And from there, we also provide you with the great tools for marketing, such as blogging, your social media links, direct email, and so on. So with that, if you're interested, go down to at the bottom of the site there, it's photoartpavilion.com/webinar if you want to learn more. You can join us live and be able to see an actual demo of the platform. So besides all that, we also offer photography critique services. Our deadline for the group review session is actually today. So if this is something you're interested in jumping into, head over to photoartpavilion.com/photography-critique-services, and you'll be able to review the details as far as the group session, or if you're interested in learning more about the solo critiques that we offer, possibly if you're coming up to your own exhibit, or if you're looking to get further feedback on your overall portfolio, whatever it is that you need assistance with, those solo critiques are there for you. The group critiques are great because not only are you learning about your art, but you're also getting the visual of other people's styles and viewpoints and so on. And then that expands your knowledge as well. So don't forget, today's the deadline. All right. With all of that, we know how time consuming and possibly even overwhelming it is to market your own art, which is why you're also here. You want to learn, you want to better yourself and be able to really get your art out there for your 3Fs, family, friends, and fans. So with that, we have our Sidekick Marketing Agency, where we help you develop content for your social media platforms. from monthly email marketing to social media post development to even blog writing. You name it, we can help you with this and also keep it under your own art brand. So think of Sidekick as your behind the scenes creative team helping your work shine. This service is open to any art photographer and obviously Photo Art Pavilion and beyond. Also, being that you're here, you most likely have seen us on YouTube. And one of our playlists or series is the Art and Soul Pavilion Perspectives. And I take my time to be able to carve out a little bit of time to be able to interview some of Photo Art Pavilion's art photographers. With this, we get to actually learn about the photographer themselves, their background, the art that they want to share with the audience, and be able to get a little bit further information. I mean, it's really a fun thing to be able to learn more about the artist at hand and what drives them. With all of that said, you now know a little bit more about Photo Art Pavilion and all of the different things that we do to help fellow art photographers. So with that, let's dive into today's main event, the most overlooked marketing strategy for photographers, and it has nothing to do with social media. So today is all about getting off your computer and using real world marketing strategies. Think of this as you basically need more handshakes and fewer hashtags. So let me explain. This is pretty simple. If your town doesn't know you're a photographer, you're skipping one of the biggest opportunities available to you. Now, it's funny because in a digital world, we're all about reaching out to all the different people across the US, beyond, whoever, wherever, right? It's a big world out there. And sometimes we forget about our actual town, communities, even county, you name it. So every day, photographers spend hours online trying to reach strangers while ignoring the people most likely to support them. How many of you have ever uploaded a photograph, shared it on social media, waited for the likes to come in, and secretly hoped that somehow it would lead to an art sale? Now, let me ask you this question. How many local business owners know you're a photographer in their neighborhood? How many interior designers know that you're around? How many local non-for-profits know that you can help them with photography? How many chambers of commerce know your name? How many photographers many photographers are trying to grow online while remaining completely invisible in their own community? And that's a problem. Growth comes from both real world, physical, in-person interactions, along with the online communication, such as social media, emailing, and so on. So with that, there's a huge market out there that you're still not quite touching. And one of the myths in photography and in the art market is if you post great work, people will find me. And that's not really true. It may be true for some, but not for everyone. Overall, yes, great art matters. Online marketing matters. But great work without the visibility, without the relationship, falls flat. Art buyers cannot buy art they have never seen. Galleries, local galleries even, cannot represent you as an artist if they've never met you or seen you. Businesses cannot hire photographers they don't know exist or even work with them. Communities cannot support artists that they've never heard of. So a formula to think of is visibility plus the relationship plus consistency equals more opportunities. It's not just talent alone that equals success. So why local marketing still works? Your community is full of potential buyers. Most most photographers think my market is online, which is partly true, but your market is also the local doctors in your area, the lawyers, the realtors, the hotel owners. They need to fill their walls with art. Perhaps they have different events going on. These are all different things or entities that you can make yourself known and offer services. Yes, we are fine art photographers. However, it doesn't hurt to venture out and make those connections. And maybe somebody needs a quick headshot. You take a couple of photos for them. You don't know where your opportunities lie if you're not making those connections. So these people in these businesses do buy art. They also have to decorate their spaces. They also sponsor events. These people can help you with referrals. So ask, how many of these people have actually seen your work within your neighborhood, your town, your community? So stop looking for customers and start looking for relationships. I know this is a huge like mind shift. People hate being sold. And if we said this in a few other different J&J art marketing cafes, it's all about the story. It's all about the connection. And with that, people do enjoy relationships. So your goal is not, how do I sell my art today? Instead, try thinking of it as, how do I become known within my community? So with that, it's all about the different places. So here's another list of the different businesses within your town, community, county, state that you can try to get involved in. I'll leave this up for just a moment. But there's some really interesting business ideas here, right? So besides the non-for-profits, Chamber of Commerce, and so on, senior living communities. This is one of like the largest growing like real estate entities happening lately, right? There's the big booms going on. They need art for their walls. Who better than somebody within the area? That could be you. Again, it's all about making those connections, calling, emailing, going down, trying to speak to somebody. These are all different ways to get known and seen. So the first thing to think about too with marketing, sales, and making those connections is to known first, right? You want to be known. So before someone can buy from you, they need to know you exist. Consistency, visibility through networking, referrals, events, social media, and marketing helps put your business on the radar. That's your art. Next would be trusted second. So once you are known, they need the confidence in your expertise and reliability. Trust is built through relationships, testimonials, education, consistency, and delivering value before asking for a sale. Next would be the purchase, right? So now you've made that connection with the business owner. You made the connection with maybe a group of business owners through a chamber of commerce. People are more likely to buy when they know and trust you. The purchase is often the result of a relationship you've built, not just the product or service you're offering. Most sales don't happen on the first interaction. I believe in sales, it's like the rule of three. You need three different touches, if you will, or three different interactions. So this is the known, the trust, the purchase. So people typically need to know you, trust you, and then buy from you, making the relationship a building one. One that is also most powerful with sales strategy is available there. Think about it, the price of fine art isn't an impulse buy. So even if you are marketing, making those connections, it is going to take a moment for those potential 3Fs, family, friends, and fans, to decide on the size of the art or the medium, maybe if they're buying several pieces, which pieces to put together. There's a lot of planning that goes into investing in art. So with that, it's all about making those connections and making those planned decisions and helping people, even if they need help selecting the art online. Again, you can use your Photo Art Pavilion storefront. If you have somebody who's interested, you can work with them through your gallery and showing off the art. So with that, Here's the list again. And with this, these are all great ideas to be able to wiggle into, make your connections, just let them know that you're around. And I'll get to actual short little scripts or intros for you. But with that, these are some great lists of companies, businesses, and so on that potentially would be seeking artwork from a local art photographer. Now, yes, we are fine art photographers, and our main product is always going to be wall art. But just think, what happens if you're interested in getting into the local boutiques, gift shops, and so on in your neighborhood? So, for art photographers looking to place their work in local boutiques, gift shops, visitor centers, wineries, coffee shops, and specialty retailers, success often comes from offering smaller products that are affordable, easy to display, and attractive to the customers looking for a unique local gift. Now, here I've created a list of different ideas that you can present to the different stores by you. And again, the goal is to get your name out there. It's again to give the ability for people to see your art and connect with it. You could even create a different line where it is just for a little bit of like the gift shop retail. Maybe it's putting an image with the name below it and then having it produced as mini matted prints, or maybe you're going to end up doing a little wood print. And that too is something that somebody can invest in. That's not a lot of money. It doesn't require a lot of space, and they're able to either gift it or add it to their decor. Now, with these, I would say the small gifts can range from like $5 to $50. The home decor items, depending on size, mediums, and so on, maybe up to 150, 200. Again, these are all small, tiny little things, little pieces, little production. And from there, it all depends on the different retailers that you're making those connections with, because they're all looking for products, right? And everyone wants to have something local to be able to gift. So, how do you pull? So, let's say you make a connection with one of the retailers, a company, and so on. So, one of the advantages of having your work displayed through Photo Art Pavilion is that you can quickly showcase your available art to a potential business partner. Even better, you can organize your images using specific keywords, making it easy to present artwork that is relative to a particular community or region. So, for example, if you're reaching out to businesses within a specific town, county, or tourism area, you can create a collection of images using a unique keyword that highlight that location. So, as you can see here on the screen, I utilized my portfolio, and the town would be Babylon, New York. And with that, I put gift ideas. So this would be something you can see the keyword is Babylon gift ideas. You put it into the search area, and that will pull up all of your artwork there. And you're going to want something that's a unique keyword. So this way it isolates your art. With that, we're going to then present that to the potential contact that you have, whether it's somebody from a hotel or a local gift shop, a tourism company, you name it. It's all about really crafting and isolating, creating that bundle for that specific viewer, because you want to make it easy for them. They don't want to sift through hundreds of images. They want clean, direct. These are already curated for them, and you're making their job much easier because now they can decide which makes more sense for their demographic. Now, with that, one of the other things that you can do is also create a coupon code for these potential vendors, right? So if you're working, let's say, with a gift shop in Babylon, you can create a coupon code. Maybe it's that business name. So I don't know, Babylon Gifts, let's say. And anytime that they recommend somebody to your art, they can also utilize that coupon. And then now you can have that connection, even if it's like 5%, 10% savings. It's just to see who's buying what, right? So now that company, that business is able to present it, that information to their clients And then you can give them a referral fee, you can give them anything to make that connection, but at least they're able to also help you sell your art, your wall art, not the little products. All right. So, with that, let's continue on. So, how to talk about your photography without feeling salesy. Now, we've gone through this a couple of times now through the J&J Marketing Cafe, but really it's not you trying to say, hey, I'm looking to sell my work. It's more of introducing yourself, letting them know you're there. So perhaps an option would be, hey, how you doing? I create photography artwork. I inspired by the Long Island landscapes and coastal environments here, and I just want to let you know that my services are available. Right? That's nice and easy, nice intro. Or maybe two. You could say, I help bring people local artwork of all the iconic locations for their home, their office, through my fine art photography. Right? That makes it sound a little bit more elevated, and you're able to make that connection. Here's another option. Hey, so and so, nice to meet you. I'm passionate about documenting the beauty of our region and sharing it through my photographic art. Do you want to see some? Or can I get some involved into your store? I have a couple ideas. And this opens up that communication. Now, again, you don't want to like pounce on them, but you want to be able to start that conversation and not say, hey, buy my art, but more so, this is what I'm doing, looking to see if you're interested in this for your customers, or interested if you're in need of the local views of the neighborhood, the community, the location, the area, the region. So notice, no selling, no pressure, not really a pitch, just more of a loose conversation. And you're just simply sharing information about you. So with that, let's create a little bit more structure, right? Instead of willy-nilly like going through and just saying, hey, maybe I'll do this. Let's create an outline. And with that, perhaps every week you take a moment and you try to visit maybe 2 different local businesses that are interesting. You can see their hours. You can also see through using Google, right? The Google Maps and all that, their hours of operation. And then you can see when they're not that busy. So this way you're not bombarding them when they're in the middle of their busiest times. Another idea would be maybe attending a local networking event. I know libraries are great. Chamber of Commerce is great. These are all different elements to be able to connect with others. Next would be maybe just sending 5 introduction emails to your local businesses of interest that you're looking to partner with. Because, right, not every business is going to be something you want to align with, but it's definitely something you need to do your research on. Create a spreadsheet. Put your information in. I've been to so-and-so, I spoke to this person, here's the email, phone number, and so on. All right, so besides that, perhaps you post 3 behind the scenes stories, right? So now you're in the neighborhood, you're walking, maybe you're taking some video clips and you're saying what you're looking to do. Oh, I'm looking to meet, stop in this store. It's a really cute store. You can amp them up a little bit. And remember, in another J&J Marketing Cafe, I was talking about collaborations. So now what if you're talking about maybe a cute store you came up with, or you stopped in somewhere new. You can take a couple of photos, share a little bit of information, maybe if it's a video or if it's a story, if it's a carousel post. So maybe you said you're out in the neighborhood photographing stuff, you create your carousel post and you have some beautiful fine art, but then you can also say, hey, I also came across this company. And that could be part of your story. And then you can tag them in it or invite them to be a collaborator. And you never know, they may share it. Again, this is all about making those connections and just getting out there, right? So it is a dual entity where, yes, you always want to also go online, but it's all about also the footwork, getting out, talking to people one-on-one, going to different places. These are all great ideas. So here's a couple more things: is starting conversations. Maybe you start following 5 new businesses through social media, right? And then you're trying to create that collaboration with them. because their followers will then know about you if they also share that post. So after 90 days, you're doing your legwork and you're getting out there, you could potentially have at least 24 businesses that you've visited, 12 networking events. I mean, there's a lot, I get it, but these are ideas for you to define what it is that you want to do for your art business. Perhaps you were able to get 60 introductions in those 90 days. Maybe you're able to send 180 follow-up emails, phone calls, you name it, to these people. It's all potential. And it's something a little bit different than the normal social media push. So, do you think your art business would look different after 90 days of doing this work? Definitely. So, now why is it that most photographers never do this? It's about the fear, right? So, we all have that little voice that is always talking to us or giving us reasons why we shouldn't try something new, why we shouldn't go and do. And that's the fear of rejection, judgment, looking foolish, being ignored. But here's the truth: the majority of local businesses want to meet passionate local people. That can help them be inspired to share and to connect with you and be able to expand. You guys will help both entities. You're not just they're not looking to reject you. They're looking to connect as well. Granted, I said it before, don't stop in at their busiest times. Definitely check out Google and just to get a better idea as to their hours, their operations, their details, right? And make an educated idea as to when to stop in and just make yourself known, introduce yourself, and just try to have an easygoing conversation. And again, it may not happen all at once. So with that, if you're not talking about your art, why should anyone else? I've said this quite a few times now, and it really is true. Just like any other business, if you're not talking about it, if you're not excited when you're sharing about your work, your art, what you've accomplished, then why should anybody else be talking about your work? So your photography deserves to be seen, but visibility doesn't happen by accident. It happens through conversations, relationships, community involvement, showing up, and not just online, showing up in real life. So the photographers who build lasting careers are rarely the ones posting the most. They're often the ones connecting the most. So ask yourself, who in my community still doesn't know I exist? And then go find them and introduce yourself. It's an idea. Step in a different direction. So with that, I want to ask Joanne to come on into the chat, share if you have any 2 cents to feed into this, different perspective, you name it. But thank you everyone for being here. Joanne, the floor is yours.
Okay, how are you, everybody? Just wanted to say a quick hello, and Jessica really enjoyed the presentation. I see these presentations just like the rest of you for the first time. Jessica is off and running, building up these J&J photo art marketing cafes, and chooses the topic, does the research, puts it all together, and I sit back and get to enjoy it just like the rest of you. So, uh, always a great way of kind of opening my mind into something new. And this is kind of new because we do speak a lot about social media marketing, we direct email marketing and things of the like. Last month we did blogging, or Jessica did blogging, I should say. But I wanted to share a quote that I saw on socials, which was coming from somebody looking to sell uh, things outside of social media. And the quote was, "Instagram is your gallery until it isn't. Don't build your art business on rented space." What a fabulous quote to line up with exactly what Jessica's talking about today. I think it is important to get out and quote unquote press the flesh, if you will, but to do it in a very subtle and a very relaxed way. And as you're talking about this, Jessica, I can see myself kind of like, let me go for today's stroll in whatever little town is near me. I've got a few. I've got them north and south and east and west of me. Um, Throw a bunch of business cards in my pocket or my leave behind, which is a 4 by 5 little card that's double-sided, glossy, and just walk around the local town and introduce myself in a very gentle manner. But in the same way as I'm walking into these different businesses, saying, "Hi, I'd like to introduce myself." Also, consider reciprocating on how you can help that business to expand their reach. It's great that you're able to walk away from your desk. They may not be able to walk away from their desk to go out and meet you or somebody else. So reciprocate if you can in some way, shape, or form. If you're walking in the door of an attorney's office, you may not need an attorney, but you may know somebody who does. And you could simply say, "I'm happy to refer anybody that I know to you based on your area of expertise." Years ago, many, many years ago, I ran a networking group, a networking club, and we were all about exchanging resources. It was I was in at the time running my public accounting business. I was doing that. I had my web design stuff going on, and others were one was an attorney, one was an estate planner, etc. Having us as in the same room, being able to exchange resources helped us grow our businesses, small businesses at the time. Going forward, this is an exact way of moving your art photography forward. Not everybody knows who you are. That's understandable. But in your local community, it's even if you started in your neighborhood, if you're out on a daily basis walking your dog, let's say, does your neighbor know what you do for a living or for a hobby or for whatever you want to call your art photography? They should know. Always good to stuff a couple business cards in your back pocket or in your purse or wherever you carry things around and have that available if you're having that conversation with somebody. So start looking for customers for sure. Reciprocate a business relationship if you're going to walk in the front door of someone, let's say it's a medical office, you know how busy any office can be. And getting through that gatekeeper, how difficult that always is. But if you walk in with the idea of, "I'm here to just introduce myself, tell me something about you. Tell me something about what you do, and how can I help you? How can I bring customers into your front door?" So now we have a different conversation going on. It's not just about taking away something, it's also about leaving something behind and hopefully bringing something new to their area of their reach. So the toughest part of all of this is the fear factor. And I know Jessica touched on that, but you have to be able to find a way to bury fear. And if you approach growing your neighborhood presence, if you will, or your recognition within your neighborhood and your local business community, if you approach it in a friendly manner and not a business manner and not in a salesy way and not in a take way, your your success rates will just keep flying up. I shop at a local store to the west of me, I'm sorry, to the east of me, and they have a lot of great things in there. And I'm always leaving a business card. I've not landed any sales there yet, but I'm always leaving a business card and I'm always looking to get my artwork up on their walls as sample work. So if there's a place that you do frequent that you feel that your artwork might be available, might be a good place for your artwork to be sold or to at least be seen, definitely keep pressing because Jessica, you said three shots. I think sometimes it could go as deep as five or more. But if you stop, if you give up after the first rejection, second or third, you're not doing yourself any favors. If you really feel like that spot or that location or that business aligns with you and you can create a reciprocal relationship, I would not stop trying to be a benefit to them and to yourself. So that's my 2 cents. Go out for a walk, go into the local town, go around your neighborhood, put those cards in your pocket, have some conversations, introduce yourself. It's just being friendly. In reality, if you start with just being friendly, a lot of it will come from it.
The other idea, Joanne, as you're speaking, the senior citizen communities that are being built all over the place, right? There's the big
Mhm.
entities going up. What if you did a talk there and you're able to present your work, right? You don't have to print them out. You can do a digital talk, right? And now you're sharing experiences, stories, and that might inspire them to buy something to hang on their walls because now you've entered
Mm.
their world. So it's all different levels of ways of trying to open up the relationships, communication, and so on, and to see people in person. It's a little different out there.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good idea. That's definitely a good idea. Having the ability to, if you put together a quick little conversation, you could walk in and say, I'm looking to help anybody who's having difficulties with their DSLR cameras.
Yeah,
I'm a one-on-one resource for you today. Between 1 and 3 today, I'll be in your lobby helping you with your DSLR issues or anything that you can come up with that is around your area of expertise. That's how you're going to build relationships with other people in your community.
excellent. Well, thank you everyone for
All
joining us
right.
today. I think we'll wrap it up if no one has any questions or anything to add. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.